in the door. There's no way if somebody was like, go into a burning building, I would be like, sure, and maybe if I get to the top, it'll be great. You know, I just feel like there's some sort of conceptually highly interesting, but realistically maybe not so much. And I think, Sean, I love the way that you simplified and sort of you analyzed the symphony and like broke it down and simplified it into these parts, and then really tried to create spaces that engage and embrace those different qualities. But I would be very interested in the transitions between them. So the way that music has to transition from one movement to the next, the building can really do that, like from the discomfort to the sort of, you get to the restaurant and it's phenomenal, but like how do you get from that one thing to the next? Those in between spaces could actually be even more interesting than the one that's really comfortable and the one that's really uncomfortable, like the combination. Or if you're taking these things and you do the atrium or you cut a big hole in something, and somebody's exposed to like all four elements that were initially stacked, like they all come together and there's like noise. It's like it's no longer beautiful music, you know. I think you guys could create little spaces where maybe the user doesn't catch on, but they're sort of stimulated and they don't know why, and there's another element, like an element of surprise. Or I love, Nadia, the way that you introduced your project, and you were talking about being subversive, but not with the actual building, but with the employment of the program. And I think it's it's clever, and it's sort of a nice way to say, okay, I'm going to take this thing, but not be too literal and not like show it off. It's you really used your masking idea, and I would love to see you take this, like, and create, you know, some architecture out of it, because I think that the idea is so strong, and the potential, you know, you get people to dress up and party, and then they realize that they've been seen, and then there's sort of this like it's like horrifying, you know, like somebody the next day is like, by the way, I had my camera last night. It's like, oh my, I can't even imagine what's been recorded. And so I think that element could somehow, do you know the Brasserie by Diller and Scapidio, the restaurant? When you walk, it's in Manhattan, when you walk into it, you're recorded as you enter, and then that recording is played above the bar. And so everybody inside is like watching the entry of each, you know, new person. And it's, you know, it's not so surprising, but people who know it's there when they come in will like do a little jig and then like come down to the restaurant or something. And I think that playback, you know, it's exciting the first time you see it, and then after that it's just like pure entertainment. You know, you go back because you know there's just another element. So I think you could really use that to your advantage. And it would draw me through that space. I would still, you know, like have a good time, but then the things that come up, you know, come next would also be appealing. But I think that all four of you really tried to take your ideas and turn them into spaces, you know, like try to, and they can always go further, but I commend you for taking them to that level, because it heightens the level of our discourse, you know, we're able to critique you in another way.
Yeah, I thought your narratives were really, really good. And I kind of want to go back to, I was wondering, maybe you can write a schizophrenic narrative, so maybe it's not so linear, you know, maybe you just go all over the place. So just another thought in your next few projects, maybe. I don't know.
For who specifically?
Just saying, in general, like the narratives were very
Linear
in a way, yeah, which isn't a critique per se, because you could go either way, or a mixture
Well,
of
I mean,
the two,
that's
right?
one of the things that sort of, we've talked about a little bit, like this idea that the creative process is not this linear thing, but in this context of the Pachacucho, we have to sort of represent this idea linearly.
Right.
And so that's a constraint. How do you rise above that sort of linear constraint is the challenge. Okay. So do we have the